What is up, scent heads, smell beast, and frag freaks? It's your boy. My name is Mega Dave, and today we got a leather and wood fragrance that's crack-a-lackin'. That's coming up next, and this is Eau So Fraiche. Yo, what is good, Fresh fam? For everybody returning, I want to say thank you so much for being a freshie. It really means a lot. And if this is your first time here, welcome. As I said before, my name's Mega Dave. This is my channel, Eau So Fraiche. I do reviews on fragrances that I absolutely love. And I hope that you love them too. If you do, give me 2 huge fresh thumbs up. That lets you know that you enjoyed the content. Also, think about subscribing and hit me down on my notification bell in. That lets you know when I'm uploading new content, because who knows, it could be your favorite fragrance that I review next. Today, from the intro, you're probably puzzled, and getting this fragrance, I was absolutely puzzled. I've never even heard of the fragrance that we have or the inspiration or any of that, so I was completely blown aloof, but I'm going to share it with you guys right now. The fragrance that we got in the House of Dua is called The Village of Karaotlak, Krudeluk, Kraken, McLovin, Village of Karaotlak. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know if any of those iterations that I said is correct, but that's why I kind of nicknamed this one Crack-a-lackin', because this thing gets it crack-a-lackin'. This is an inspired expression from Penhaligons Halfeti. Now, that one, as I did some research, I found out this was named after a village in Turkey that happens to have a particular black rose that grows along the coast. And that's where it got its name, because they used that as an inspiration. And big surprise, if they named it after a rose that they found in a particular country, guess what's in it? Rose. So get ready. But let me shut up and get to why you guys all came here and get to the scent breakdown. All right, I got my Village of Karaotlak, and of course, my handy dandy fresh strip. And we're gonna take this thing and get it cracking. Cracked. Big old papa. Very nice. Now this opens up with a nice little citrus, nothing way out of hand. It's a nice aromatic. I definitely pick up a little bit of bergamot, maybe a touch of grapefruit in here. So it's a nice little light citrus, if you will. And right behind that is a very green cypress note. Kind of has a little bit of an herbal vibe to it. Obviously, you guys know if you've ever smelled anything that has that vibe to it, that's kind of what this is. So it has that medicinal-ish type note. Some people absolutely love it. Some people hate it. But I try to make sure that I put it out there so you kind of know what's in here. I think it's great. It's definitely playing really good with the light amount of citrus that's in here. Very green, and then surprisingly enough, already I have a nice little dose of cedar, particularly cedar that's up here in the top already. When we get down to the mid, a very, very good saffron note in here. A little bit spicy. It's kind of just tangoing with the village. It's just passing through. But when it goes, it stops for a little bit. Has a beer at a tavern, maybe spends the night, has its way with a mistress, who knows? I'm not there, I'm just telling you probably what saffron's doing. If it's over in the village of Crack-a-lackin', it's probably Crack-a-lackin' after the lights go down. The mid is really dominated by a fantastic rose that's in here. Also, I pick up some nice jasmine, a little bit floral, so it's definitely going to be very unisex, I think. And more of that wood is becoming more prominent now. A little bit of that agar wood is coming up also. Nothing really funky, and I know when people hear oud, they tend to think like barnyard all the time. There is a lot of ways to do oud and patchouli and musk, and it doesn't always have to smell like poop. So this one does not smell like poop. This one has a very similar resemblance, at least in the dry down in the air, to another particular fragrance with oud in it, and I'm going to get to that as well. When we get to the base, as always, I'm wearing this baby, and actually it was a challenge today because it was quite spicy outside, but I needed to get as many days with this as I could because it changes quite a bit, and it's very deep, and it goes a lot of different directions, so you kind of have to get your nose on it because at first sniff, you tend to think leather and wood and oud. There's a lot more to it, and that's why I'm glad that I wore this multiple days so I can catch whiffs of it, get great sillage and all of that, so I can give the best impression to you guys and to you girls. So we're met with very nice wood, of course. Cedar is the main dominator to this other than the agar wood that's in here, aka the oud. But also vanilla is in here too, which is surprising. So that kind of gives off, to me at least, the fruity, like scrumptious vibe. Those that have ever wore scrumptious kind of know what I mean. In the air, it gives off a sweet, oody vibe, and I think it's the same type of oud that was used in both of these. So it's very fruity smelling, but it does have a very good base of the wood, so you can pick that up as well. Now, I'm not telling you at all that these are similar fragrances, but it just gives off that sweet vibe, and it has that agro wood smell, and it's very good. So it's like a fruit that's kind of trying to go bad, and I don't want to scare you guys. This isn't a nasty one, but it is an oud fragrance. So for those that are a little timid, perhaps grab you a sample of it instead of just grabbing it. This is a challenging fragrance for some if you're expecting very good bright citruses all the time. This one's going to be a little curveball and get you out of your wheelhouse, get you out of your comfortability, and kind of start walking your little path a little bit different. Now, for those of us that have been in the game for a while, this is nothing. We've smelled a lot of challenging fragrances, ones that are very, very deep. This one has a lot of notes. There's a lot of stuff going on, but I think it is done extremely well. It is a very nice niche fragrance. And what I mean with that is it's not your run-of-the-mill Bleu de Chanel or your Invictus Aquas or any like that. This one has some directions that it takes. You can tell a person was given complete freedom to do what they wished with this fragrance, and I think the person that made this absolutely did. Now, I don't dive deep into the perfumers and all of that. I give you guys the house, so feel free to dig a little bit deeper and find out who this was, but I can tell they're artistic, the way that they built this in layers, and Eau So Fraiche Dua replicated this in an amazing fashion, because I can tell that this is a very challenging fragrance to make and also to wear, because you're kind of limited to where you can wear it. Now, with me saying citrus, I don't want to give you the wrong impression. This is absolutely a winter fragrance. It has to be cool outside. There is no way a normal person would pull this off in direct heat, okay? Now, if you live way north, kind of way past me, Canada, any of that, maybe you get an extra month out of this, but this is definitely for winter. It's going to survive that cold very well. I think you should be able to pull it just fine in night times in the fall, depending on where you live, of course. This is a no-no, at least for me, in the summer. In the spring, there's a lot of better fragrances that I could wear than this one, but this one will be one that I will definitely be rocking quite a bit in the winter time, because it really has some good push. It has a very solid woody base that is just meant to last, and the cold that's thrown at it, it's just gonna shrug it off. Now, this is listed as a unisex fragrance, and when I first wore it, my first day with it, and if you guys saw my first impressions, I told people that I thought this leaned very, very masculine. But as I've wore this multiple times and smelled this in the air, I can definitely see why they list this as a unisex fragrance. It does have a very nice floral mid. The base, albeit quite woody and very dominant with the oud, does have such a nice little sweet, fruity smell to it that I can see why women would love this. The leather may be off-putting to some, but if you're a woman and you've wore challenging fragrances or leather-based fragrances or ones with oud in it already and you loved it, I don't think you're gonna have an issue with this at all. Now, I do think this probably swings a little bit more to the masculine side, at least in my opinion. I think it's going to play into both hands, and definitely I think get a sample if you can, because this is one for people that want to experience a little bit of a journey instead of kind of always riding what's popular. This one will get you out of that and start thinking outside of the box, and who knows, maybe you find a note that you love that you didn't think that you did. Now, for longevity, I get well over 9 hours with this, a good 2-hour push, but this one is not meant to push. This is a great sillage beast, so it sits really nice close to the skin for a very long time, and it pushes from there. If you catch wind or you move or you're sitting close to someone, they're gonna get that radiation. As this heats up as well, it's gonna push out. That's why I don't think it's meant for any type of heat, any of that, because then it could kind of choke you out, can get a little bit sticky and a little bit thicky. So for this amazing out-of-the-box fragrance that just got us crack-a-lacking, that's all I have. Till I come to you again, I want to thank you guys so much. I love you. Be blessed. Stay fresh.